What's up, sassy gamers, and welcome to another session of our SASS interviews. I'm here with Brian Kelly, as usual, and I'm also here with Joe and Kristin from InkTale Studios. They're also joining us today to tell us a little bit about one of their upcoming games that's coming out. So welcome, Joe and Kristin. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys didn't have a safe flight, coming into the studio today.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
See you guys again.
We tried to decorate the studio just like the picture that you had of your home, so we hope that you feel comfortable.
Impressive.
Really hard.
Exactly.
The attention to detail is...
Yeah, it's the green screen.
It's a little eerie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been working.
So we actually, me and Brian actually met Joe and Kristin at PAX East, where they were displaying one of their upcoming game that they've been working on together, which is called Aron's Gift. And it's pretty cool. So according to their website, this is your words now, not mine. It says Aron's Gift is an original action-adventure role-playing game. Explore a unique hand-painted world filled with characters and bountiful secrets. So the interesting thing that really caught my eye for why I even decided to come over was like right offhand was the art style. I was like, wow, like what is this game that looks? It looks very. I can't even explain. Almost like a comic book, but almost like like hand drawn, like watercolor painting. Like it was just super interesting to see from a distance, and I had to see more. So I guess if you want to tell us a little bit about Aron's Gift, like what is Aron's Gift?
Well, thank you so much for stopping by at PAX. We were
Absolutely.
so happy that you guys came by and played, and it is really the first big project that we have spent a lot of time on over the past 4 to 5 years building, and our studio is making its debut with this game, so we were kind of hesitant to show it for years, and PAX East was the first time we showed it to a big convention. And it was a bunch of art assets that Kristin has made over the past 3 to 4 years, and I've been working on building the story that we've written together inside of her art and all of our audio. And she also does the music, which it has a beautiful soundtrack to go with it.
Which is I was about to ask is, so what would be considered your titles? It sounds like you guys wear many hats. So I guess, is there anyone else part of InkTale Studios, or is it really just like you two kind of doing everything?
It's just us.
Just us two. And I should add her parents help watch the kids a lot whenever we're doing long sprints.
Totally understand that.
I mean, I gotta say, when you, that part I didn't know that this was like that PAX East was really the first time that you showed it off, and
we did do PAX West.
Yeah,
it was a much smaller convention.
It was a lot smaller.
It felt like a dress rehearsal, sort of.
Oh yeah,
oh,
no,
wow.
I was at that one too, and it was definitely much smaller. But when you had a hell of a reception at PAX East, because every time I went by your guys' booth, I mean, I think every day you had just people standing around watching, people playing. It seemed like you had really good feedback.
Yeah, it was overwhelmingly positive. I don't remember hardly anybody giving us negative feedback or discouraging us in any way.
It was mostly just like personal preference feedback. Like, like, is the animation frame rate going to stay that way? It's like, or like little things. It's like, well, that's just a personal preference. Yeah.
Well, I would say that it's I mean, obviously at a convention like that, there's larger games that are kind of timed. Like they kind of look at their watch, like, all right, this person's playing for like 5 minutes, we need to cut them off. And then there's other ones where you literally go and you can just play as long as you want. And as a person playing those games, it's like I immediately pick a game and literally we're SASS, right? Short attention span syndrome. And the whole thing is my attention span is really short. So like the game has to grab me in some way for me to want to sit, especially at a convention. Like there's so many games around. I want to keep playing something else, So for me to like sit down and play, it's either immediately like I play it and I'm like, yeah, that's good. I'm good to go. Or in this case, like your game, Brian was like filming me play because I was literally, I had a beanbag you guys had there, I had the controller in my hand. And I was just like kind of just chilling, and I was kind of just enjoying the environment and kind of going through the story that you guys provided, and checking out like all the different like cutscenes you guys had. And it was just, I was kind of soaking all that in. And that to me kind of tells the story there of like what type of game this is and what kind of effect that it's going to potentially give me and give the rest of the people, I think, that were experiencing it for the first time at PAX East. So I think that was pretty neat.
That's awesome. Thank you.
It's still very much pre-alpha. A lot of the footage that was shown at the game, and even that's on our website right now, is not representative of what we have today in our latest build. But it felt like it was time to finally start giving people some hands-on time with the story and the characters.
It's even more so to motivate us to keep building, because like, I don't know if anybody does art in here, but for me as a perfectionist, I will sit and perfect something until it turns into something else, and it's like, okay, we gotta stop like trying to perfect this and just like show it, and it kind of forces you to keep working and like keep, I guess, like deadlines. Because it's only two of us, like we don't have anybody else forcing us to do anything. So it's like,
that's
so
I'm not an artist, but I definitely understand what you're saying about being a perfectionist. Like it just depends on what I'm doing. But
that way with spreadsheets.
And from the software side, there were so many bugs that I felt like the first day I should have never shown what we had. But the general consensus at PAX is like, these are gamers. They know that these things take time. It's in development, and they actually embrace all of the flaws that we had in our build.
Well, and as developers, the people are going to break the game.
You were the most honest too about it being pre-alpha. We very much sat down at some things that they were saying beta, and we're like, this doesn't feel beta. It feels pre-alpha. We came to your booth and you said, "Oh, this is pre-alpha," and we're like, this feels more like we were like, this felt more like beta than pre-alpha.
Really?
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah. And the only time that we even had that idea is because you essentially had like several hundred testers. One time while we were sitting there, we saw someone that got out of bounds, and found that little crack. And we're like walking around.
Happened a lot. Yeah, we found a lot.
And I was trying to hide that the first day. And then by the third or fourth day, I just started. I started filming it and actually encouraging it and like giving people awards for finding all of it.
That's why we're there. We're there so that we can break it and fix it.
And it's not like someone who did that like went away angry or something.
The kids loved it. They were just like, they wanted to come back and break it some more. We're like, okay, well, maybe we should make a game you break.
I remember like you literally, Joe, going over there and like, all right, you need to kind of go left and then right, and then you're going to go up a little bit more, and that's going to kind of get you back out of the offside of the map that you kind of just like found. And it was interesting because and it's, I'm definitely known.
And what's your email again? And are you over the age of 18? We'll put you down as one of our testers.
Yeah. I've had that conversation before.
Yeah.
I'm definitely known to like break games because like I tend to be that person who kind of just does things sporadically and kind of goes against the edges. But I will say, I didn't sit there and play for like an hour or anything, but from the time that I was there, I didn't really encounter any like game breaking bugs or anything that was like you had to come over and kind of tell me like, hey, this is, and that's interesting because I was kind of invested in the story, and I'd say that in the sense of like the railroad, that it's not railroady, but the fact that like I was kind of sticking to the story, so I was following the path that you had designed art wise, and I was trying to talk to people and just trying to lay that out. I wasn't worried about like trying to break the game like as much as I would typically do on other games. So I think the story direction's good.
Since I wasn't at PAX, can you tell me a little bit about the game and a little bit about the storyline?
Yeah, absolutely.
And our viewers, of course, or just me.
Just you. It's just you.
Just Kelly.
You can just read the flyer. But you can just...
So you play as Aron, a 12-year-old boy who is an orphan, and he discovers he has the unique ability to travel 12 years into the past. And the world around him is a lot more lush and colorful and vibrant than it is in his present day. And
you're basically trying to restore it to being what it was.
Oh. Yeah.
So you're born in the present day. It's kind of desolate, it's snowy, And eventually, the gamer finds out that you get sucked into this fairy ring, and you go through time, and it's like this beautiful. It's the same area, but it's just like, beautiful, and there's people there, and there's things going on, and there's a lot of characters that you meet. And basically, the whole game is you just trying to restore it back to that and finding out what in the world happened. So that's the very
cool. Oh, I love
and
that.
You'll upgrade a few specific abilities and items throughout the 4 to 6 hour story experience.
Yeah.
And that's the gameplay. So it's light on the RPG. It's not like you're collecting tons of items and upgrading 10 different ability trees.
That's my kind of RPG.
It's just a few specific things you can upgrade.
Just because we're small, we want to. I have like a billion ideas, but we can't do it all.
That's where DLC comes in.
Yeah.
I really love and appreciate a very heavy story game. What Remains of Edith Finch and stuff like that. Like, it's all very, you get immersed in the story, and like Mike was saying, when he was walking through the game, he was like following the storyline, and I really love and appreciate that. Sounds really cool.
Yeah, and I would say, Edith Finch, for example, is a lot more railroady in the sense of like, because like the story is like A to B. You're literally there's one path to beat it, and like to me, this didn't feel that way because there is an open world, I would say, that you can kind of explore. So that kind of, even with the story, it still seemed like I had a choice, even though I was choosing to stick to the story.
Oh, cool. That's great.
And we're adding replayability to when you collect the spirit stones in the game, which are kind of like your main source of power.
It's your upgrading ability,
You can only collect 3 at one time. You can never collect all of them. And depending on what combination of the stones you have in your pouch, that's what's going to change how you fight bosses or how you explore the world.
How you upgrade your items in order to kill certain bosses, basically.
So that should add some replayability. Like if you get a different combination that allows you to fast travel, or a different combination that allows you to unlock doors or upgrade the pickaxe.
Yeah. And then you can disregard that and start that whole process over again, upgrading your item in order to get a new combination if you want to.
Okay. Cool. So replayability. What about farming? Because I definitely saw that there was farming in the game, and I totally did. So
as of
looking at like opening up a shop, I can grow
as
and
right
sell.
Now, there's only harvesting, and there's only one garden, and we don't even.
And you can fish.
Yeah.
Garden. Oh, see. Okay, can we chop down trees? Can I gather logs?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you
Mike's
pet
big
the
fan
dog?
of wood.
Another reason why I chose to play this game.
Something in the past, and then when you get spit out of the past, kind of like Majora's Mask, it spits you out after a certain time period once you're in the past for so long. Once you're back in the present day, the day that you were born and you grew up in, you can like plant something or do few little things in the past that you're at, and it'll affect your present day.
Oh, that's cool.
To go through your critical path, because the past is all just about like meeting characters and figuring out how to get through the present day. The present day is where you're going to do all your fighting.
Is there a dog, and can you pet it?
That's the important question.
There's a thing I call an oxen ram that you'll be able to like guide and ride.
Oh, it didn't make it into the PAX East build.
Yeah.
But
I have him, he's just not in
creatures.
there yet. He's pretty cool.
So
I like
go in a different direction. Since you're, like we said, a very art-heavy game. And I say that in the most positive aspect, trust me.
Yeah.
What are you building this on?
So the engine we're using is Unity, because they've built the Unity engine to handle 2D assets very well. She builds all of her work in Photoshop
and
files.
ZBrush.
And the characters are created in ZBrush. After she's made the concept and her concept art, she'll build them in ZBrush, and then we'll animate them in a 3D software called Maya.
He animates the 3D version.
And we turn those into
2D
sprites.
And then I go
after we
over the
animate
2Ds and do a 2D hand animation
It's very
polish.
painstaking 2D
And
process.
then I do all this 2D
That's-
animating work that we don't have right now.
So where are the little fairies you guys have living with you that apparently do all the work? Because you guys have enough time to have children and do all of these things. Like, that's insane.
It is insane, and
That's why it's taken
taken years.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. So actually, I want to back
I
up
mean,
really quick
Part
and
of
go
that's
back
that
to
Centink behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Baby.
thing helps.
My third baby.
Yeah.
I want to back up real quick and talk about the studio name. So the studio name is InkTale Studios. Where did that come from? How did that evolve? I kind of feel like I know, but
yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's supposed to feel like this is all like all my art is very inspired by illustration, like storybook illustrations, and that's kind of the feeling I want you to get when you're playing them. Like you're actually opening up a book and you're playing the book through the illustration. So it's like an ink book, like a ink illustration, kind of like Arthur Rackham, if anybody has seen any of his work. He did all the Alice in Wonderland old illustrations, and he did that very ink work, and it feels like watercolor. So we were thinking, like, we want this to feel like books, like a book you're reading. So InkTale was just kind of born from that.
We both love narrative-driven games. Like, our favorite games of all time are always narrative-inspired games. And so that's
we'll hold that thought. We'll ask you that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and I would like to say, when you're talking about the art, like this is something that I mentioned while I was there. It was literally taking into account the depth of field with the art, which was, and it was just amazing looking. Great example.
We'll be doing a lot more polishing with that too. There'll be more of that.
When you go in the interiors, Limpkin and Nimley's house, or the cave, we always add a background parallax and a foreground parallax, and the combination of her hand-drawn art style with that parallax 2D effect is something unprecedented that I've ever seen in video games. It's what gives us kind of like our signature. I really enjoy looking at it too.
Yeah, it's pretty. Speaking of like the games you're talking about, it's interesting because like being of kids, if you ever seen the show, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, based on the book, that's something you should check out. Just because if you liked the art and liked the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, Amazon made a show and it's like, I don't know how many episodes are out, but it's very interesting to watch it because it does. I think they actually brought the artist in to do all the illustrations as well, so it very much shows. Like the show is literally like reading the book, which is really cool to me because it's cool. Like you said, it's like reading a book. But in this sense,
that old Winnie the Pooh,
yeah. I'm not playing it, but I'm watching it. Rather than just flipping through a book. So it's really neat. I guess we'll get into that because you kind of already started it. But so I guess what would be some of your favorite games growing up? Like, is there any particular game that stands out for you that you would say like that's the one that or it's like a common theme with most people.
Excellent.
But yes,
you mentioned Majora's Mask.
Huge. Yes, that's one.
Ocarina of Time, I think, is the best Zelda. She's a Majora's Mask diehard.
Yeah, and I love Twilight Princess too. I love.
Oh wow! That's incredible.
Yeah, I've got a few. I got that and Kirby, but yeah, I'm totally a Zelda fan for sure. Like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Link to the Past. God,
great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't bring his post-apocalypse Link cosplay to PAX East.
I didn't. If I would have flown with that, I would have. It's just so much to carry.
In our booth.
Yeah, I'll have to send you some pictures later. But yeah,
and we're also heavily inspired by the Fable series.
I love.
Okay,
that would make sense. So I just started playing Fable, Fable 3, recently.
That's one of my favorites.
And because I've always heard it's a great, like, very rich story game, like so many outcomes and like that. And I've been playing that, and I could see why it's so like inspirational for a lot of people.
First? Yeah.
I have not. No, I haven't played any of it.
That one's the best. That one's that's the best.
Okay.
But the third one's
I
really
like
good
the
too.
second one. That's my favorite.
We all like
I just like the world building they do in those games, the atmosphere,
so good.
and the music.
So is there a game that you both individually like, the other one hates? Is there that?
I've played a lot of first-person shooters in the past that Kristin...
I'm good at them, but I don't like playing them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just to be clear, she's good at them, okay?
Good. Yeah, just to be clear, I'm good. I just hate playing them.
Yeah,
I played GoldenEye.
A lot of Titanfall.
Hey.
That was where I stopped.
There you go.
Okay. Love it.
But
Makes
not
sense.
necessarily hates. She's never hated any games.
Yeah, I love watching. Like I have a hard time.
I don't hate any games.
Playing through all the games that are out right now. There's just so many, but I want to see them. So he does really good and just plays them, and I'll watch. I'll be working while I watch and doing stuff. But like I love watching them. I just don't play all of them anymore.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
I got into StarCraft and Age of Empires.
Those are all great.
I love RTSs. That's
Cool.
not so much her jam.
No, but I like to watch them.
Yeah, Age of Empires 4. Did you ever play the newest one that came out?
No, I really want to.
It was fun. I played with a buddy of mine, and we were like on easy, and we're like, we're gonna play together. And they rolled up an army and literally destroyed him, and they rolled the army up into my base and destroyed me. It was insane how fast the AI just decides to just roll over you. But it was fun. It's a good time.
It does have multiplayer though, where you can play.
Yeah,
just like StarCraft?
you can play against other people, or you can have your buddy on your team and play the enemy. Cool. Either way. But it's actually pretty cool. They added a couple of neat mechanics. You can actually put people on the tower, like the walls. You can actually put archers on there so they can just sit there and wait. But anyway, another. So I know I talked to you personally, Joe, for a minute. We kind of talked about programming, and like I had mentioned to you that like I have created a game. I'd say in quotes, because air quotes, because it was my gender reveal.
That's right
for my
for
son.
your baby.
Yeah, and it was I used Unity.
Such a great idea.
Yeah, thanks. But it was a very eye-opening experience because I do a little bit of programming for work. I wouldn't say I'm a programmer. I more of like anyway, I do some scripting. But the appreciation I have now for being a game developer, like having to put together a 5-minute game, because it literally was 5 minutes, if that, maybe 3 minutes, is hard. And I used Unity, and obviously I didn't know the language that I was using, so I had to kind of learn that out as I went too. But to see all of what you have done, right? Like it's a challenge, and I respect that 100%. So I guess my question is, like to you, what was probably one of the biggest challenges that you had creating this game, in the sense of like having to do the programming and do the story build? Like, was there anything that kind of stood out?
Me. Dealing with me.
She said her.
No, Kristin. Is incredible.
What a phenomenal answer. I love it.
I give him like all this crap, and I'm like, make it work.
I'm very lucky.
It's almost like you guys are married or something.
Artist. But figuring out the pipeline of getting her art from just being a still image to quickly getting it on screen and making things move and making collision in her world.
It's incredible.
And refining a process that saves time was really hard for me personally. I just like to tinker with things and make things feel good, but eventually you have to really buckle down and be like, okay, how much hours is this going to take? How many hours is this going to take? And what about audio? How long is that going to take? It's just a lot to wrap your mind around to finish a huge project like this. Mm-hmm. And it's taken years of accepting some hard truths like, oh, we just spent a whole month on this part of the world, but we're hardly even going to use that, and we just have to dump it. And yeah, hard decisions about killing your babies sometimes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're avoiding the sunk cost fallacy, so that's already a good thing.
Yeah. And that's part of the development.
Yeah.
And you just move on and you keep trying and you don't stop. You have to almost be a little crazy. Like something has to be wrong with these solo game developers who finish their games.
So I guess last thing I was going to say, like for you, Kristin, as far as like the art's concerned, like is there anything that, I wouldn't say challenges, but is there certain parts of like creating the art? Like I'm sure Sir Joe comes to you sometimes and says like, hey, I need something drawn for this part. Like I need something for this. Like the timeline that you have, is there anything that stood out for you for like, for creating the art?
Probably the most difficult thing for me is to condense, like edit myself. Cause I could literally do a million more things and I gotta stop. I've got to be like, okay, limit, edit, this is good enough and be done with it. That's probably the most difficult thing that I have a hard time with, is just stop. Like I can't keep creating. Like it's got to go out at some point.
Yeah, sometimes I have to sneak
myself
when she's sleeping and pull some of her art assets because she won't tell me where they are. She'll hide them on her PC because it's not done. But I need it. I need it to be done, so I gotta sneak and get them off her computer.
So yeah, it's a problem.
It's in the folder called Excel work documents.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely not prawn.
So yeah, that's probably the hardest process. Everything else is great and fun, and I would do it all the time. Another hard thing is like 2D animating, and just like that process is just hard because 2D animation takes forever anyway. And a lot of times we're like, that doesn't look right. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got 5 questions that we always ask all of our guests just so that we can have some type of continuity going through and seeing how different people answer. So starting off, what is your favorite animated character from, regardless, a game, a movie, cartoon, comic, whatever?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. Particular character.
Animated.
I know mine if you want to take a second.
Go ahead.
Mine is a Zora from Zelda. They're like, but I guess that's not animated. Are you talking about like a cartoon
specific-
animation?
No,
No,
game is
it-
fine.
No, that's
Game's
fine,
fine.
yeah.
Cartoon, game, comic.
But like
Yeah.
if it's a cartoon that I grew up with, it'd have to be Ariel. Little
Oh,
Mermaid.
I love that.
That's a
Like,
good
I
one.
can't get past that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we get a double answer there. That's awesome.
hard of
I
this
like
one.
it.
Anyway, that's my
Yeah.
favorite. I have
I
a million more, but
have a lot. It's hard to say. I always liked Kratos. I thought he was a good character. It just has
Oh,
a really
yeah.
cool, strong look, and he's never going to go away.
yeah, he's cool.
And I really liked Midna from Twilight Princess. I thought she was a very unique character,
She's awesome.
especially if you finish the entire game and see her story play out.
That's cool.
Very cool.
We have about
All
50 more if you want.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I have a question for you. So what's a game that you've played that you're embarrassed to tell your friends about?
Oh, embarrassed.
Spirit Tracks, my least favorite Zelda game. Worst game ever. Don't ever play it.
It's a Zelda game. How
It's
can you
horrible.
say that?
I don't
I'm
even
embarrassed
know.
to say I beat it because
Yeah.
it's so freaking hard, and you have to do it like on a. What was it on? I
Is that
forget.
DS?
Yeah, and you use
Oh,
it.
okay. That's why I
It's
didn't play it.
the
I'm like, I don't
hardest
even know what
Zelda
that
game.
is. Yeah.
It's so
No, I'm
stupid.
good on that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you closed it to make a copy of the map? There was one. I don't remember if that one. I
Yeah,
thought that was a
I
Zelda.
think you can with it. The thing
Yeah.
about it is it's all about a train, and you have to like upgrade your train, and it's not like a Zelda game at all. It's just really dumb.
Yeah.
And
They
then
just
it's
slapped the
really
name on it.
hard. I
Some
remember I
people
beat it
love
on the
that game.
plane,
It
and I
got
was just
pretty
like,
good reviews.
I can't believe I beat this. I threw the pen. I don't know how many times. I hate that game.
on the little DS.
Yes, and I love Zelda. I just hate that game.
Mine, I spent way too much time playing Jurassic World Evolution, and it's
Hey.
Aw,
You did too?
No, it's not bad.
It's not a bad
The
game.
boys love that game.
I played so much of that game. I like platinumed it, and
Well, you've played more than I have, but I just noticed that on Game Pass, it's actually got the Evolution 2 on there now. So I
Yeah.
thought I actually downloaded
I'm
it.
excited about it.
Yeah.
But it's not
That is so
one of those games that I'm like proud to be like, this is the greatest game of all time.
You know, I was actually impressed with that one because I went into it fully thinking it was going to be garbage, but it did have all the elements of like a park builder, like a
Mhm.
Mhm.
real estate management game that you could play, and it had the other part of it, which was
It
dinosaurs and they
scratched
could
that
break
itch.
out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
cool,
needed it.
super cool.
It is cool.
I could see that though.
All
Yeah.
right, so we're super foodies. At least some of us are.
Like you are.
Mike's a little picky.
I could eat shit
I am
out of a
too.
trash can.
Yeah,
I
Phoenix
love
and I,
good
we
food,
love to eat.
exotic
Yeah.
food.
So if you could eat one meal anywhere in the world,
Such a
what
hard
and where
question.
would it be?
I don't know. That's just so hard.
I
You can
just
give us a
watched.
couple.
Good question.
Okay,
and it's
I
hard.
know.
Okay,
mine.
you go.
I just saw somebody feed Phil. He goes to like
Okay.
Bangkok. It's a Netflix show.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen
He's
this
like-
episode yet, but I do love
Uh-oh.
this
He's
show.
like on a
Spoilers.
boat going down the middle of Bangkok's like food district or something where people go shopping on boats. And you can just get like Tom Kha and they just give you soup while you're in your boat.
Doesn't that sound
And it
good?
looks like the
Oh, it
greatest soup I've
sounds
ever
amazing.
seen
I
in my
love
life.
Tom
good.
Kha soup. Oh,
And I want to go there as soon as possible and eat at that place.
Yeah.
That's
All
cool.
of that food looks good.
That's a good one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's a good one. Mine's somewhere in Japan with sushi of some sort.
That's absolutely. That's we think alike. Then, like that. My answer is sushi somewhere.
Yes, in Japan. It's like it's always my go-to is like sushi. I love Mexican food, but.
I'm Mexican. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love Mexican. It's like,
would you chance it and try the pufferfish?
The pufferfish sushi.
I would
want
totally
to. Yeah. I love uni.
You gotta try it once.
Uni's good.
Yeah.
We've gotten sick by some new foods we've tried.
Yeah.
I think it's only a 1 in 10,000 chance that you'll die or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Live a life.
Maybe not.
Oh yeah, pufferfish is super toxic.
Yeah, and if they don't prepare,
if they don't prepare it exactly right,
it will kill you.
No big deal.
Joe's like, I'm gonna wiki this later.
Yeah,
no big deal. It's not that serious.
So
you can just die.
Hey, if it's worth it, it's worth it.
So bringing it back to games, but a little bit different. Not embarrassed, but what is a game that you like, but you didn't think that it got a fair shake, or it was really overlooked by everyone?
I've got a great one. Have y'all ever heard of Folklore? Probably not, because it's one of those games. It's one of my biggest inspirations for games, and it's like one of the best games. It's incredibly before its time. Like, it's incredible. Anyway, I have the magazine right here. I can totally show it to you guys.
Go grab it.
You want to go get it?
Yeah.
It's right here. It's always like on the front of our shelf. Our two boys have played it.
No, I'm playing it for them, but it's so good. And hold on. It's this game. I don't know if y'all have ever seen it.
It came out for the PlayStation 3 exclusively.
3?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
incredible.
It's all about original like folklores, which is what our game is based off of, is an old original folklore. And it's just, the art is beautiful. The music is beautiful. There's 2 characters that you play called Ellen and Keats. She's like a girl looking for her mom, and then he's like an investigator, and they fall into this netherworld realm. And it's incredible. Like, everything about it. The graphics are beautiful. I love this game.
Yeah,
and nobody knows about it, so play it.
It's really surprising.
Yeah. Is it still exclusively on PlayStation?
I think so.
Yeah, and 2007 game, so I'd say it's probably on the PlayStation.
It probably is. So if you don't have a PlayStation 3, then
it might be dead. That game might be dead forever.
And had a canceled sequel.
The art is insane.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's so beautiful, and like all the characters, like the girl Ellen, that you played 2 different, so you go back and forth.
Oh no, you got her started.
I know, I'm sorry. But you she has like a million outfits that you can find, which is fun.
No, it's cool. Is that that's like back when they made books for games? Like,
right.
You could go to the store.
It was like one of those games.
True.
And
it's kind the tail end.
Yeah, really.
It's kind of
it is a very well done game.
Same sort of fighting that you do in Fable. Like, you use magic, so it's like he wields it, and then you take the magic from the creatures that you're killing, and you use the magic basically from them, like the bad guys. It's really good.
Very cool.
I'll have to put that down on my list of things that I may have to play.
Please
somehow.
So
dust off the old PlayStation 3.
Yeah, totally.
Just
hey, I have
listen to
one.
the music.
I'll hook my Switch up to the PS3 and totally find the game. And
how about
it's
you, Joe?
It's got a great story, too.
I am going to go a different route. I have a lot of games that I love from my past. Like, I was about to say Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I really enjoyed that game, which is 2012, but I'm not going to say that game. I'm going to say Mario Strikers Charged, because they just came out with a remake just now. Which is a Mario soccer game.
I did not realize that was a remake. Like, I saw the Mario Strikers, and I thought that was a new line for them. So that's awesome. I never realized that.
Yeah, they had a really good one come out in like 2011 or 2009 or something. And it's the most fun couch co-op, like LAN party game me and my brothers had together. We still play it today. Every time we hang out, we pull out that game. It's 2-on-2 soccer combat with power-ups, all of the Mario characters. It's like if you took Mario Smash Brothers and turned it into a soccer game.
See, I loved Mario Tennis back on 64. And then when Mario Aces came out on Switch, I bought that too, and it's very much the same. Like, it's, tennis, but it's Mario, so it was pretty much cool. So that's cool. I didn't realize that was a remake, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I can't wait to
So-
play the new one.
If you could credit one person or experience, so it could be a person or experience from your past, which you would say basically contributed to where you were at today, who or what would it be?
Ooh, that's a big question.
This is your chance to give them or that thing a shout.
Oh my.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. Doesn't seem like you're on the list.
I was gonna say my dad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for.
I would say one of my older brothers. I have 6 older brothers, and it's hard to say which one. Probably my oldest brother, John, who I just talked to yesterday. He's really been inspiring to. He's always supported like all the weird directions I've gone in my life.
Your other brothers suck. It's cool. We can read between them.
Yeah. Screw all the other 5. We're done. No, we have good relationships. We're all going to meet up in Vegas in a couple weeks. I can't wait to see him.
And everybody's going to be pissed at John.
We'll wait. We'll make sure to wait to air this until after.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna air it while you're there.
Yeah, my dad is definitely mine.
Yeah, Chris's dad has inspired both of us too. He's a very incredible engineer and entrepreneur.
Yeah, he was playing, the Zelda from Super Nintendo or the Nintendo Zelda when I was like born. So like I grew up with him playing video games before it was like
he got me into StarCraft.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
He was like huge into like all the great classics. So I grew up with him playing games, and he's also like dabbled in art, and he's an engineer, and he designs machines, and like he's super creative, and so he was very supportive of me and my brother growing up, like being creative in whatever thing we wanted to do. So yeah, definitely my parents, and then specifically my dad.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Nice. So is it Aron's gift? I heard you say it earlier. Not Aaron. It's Aron.
That is the nerdy correction way to say it. Because
push your glasses up. I did hear that, so I wanted to make sure I said it correctly.
It's a Welsh fairy tale, and the name Aron with one A in Scotland, they say Aron.
Well, it's based like it's our story, but we're basing it off of like a folklore that is about these creatures called the Graggith Anoons, and they're in this story. So it's all in a Welsh setting. That's why
cool.
Sweet.
Yeah,
also bonus information there. Yeah. So again, this is Joe and Kristin from InkTale Studios, where we've been talking about Aron's Gift, which is actually going to be available. It's still, there's no date yet, right? We don't have a date in stone when it's going to be released. We're hoping 2023.
Yeah.
But it's going to be coming out on PC, so Steam, PS5, and also Switch. So you'll be able to pick those up.
Wish list right now.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So yeah, make sure to go to Steam and wish list them now. I think I've already done that myself. And then other than that, how else can people find you? Do you guys have a Twitter? Do you have a website? How do we contact you?
Facebook, Instagram is at InkTale Studios, and then Facebook is the same. And then we have our Discord, and then our website.
Yeah, Discord and Instagram are probably the best ways to follow our development.
See what's happening,
see the updates.
Cool.
When we get around to doing that.
Very cool.
Hey, that's a little probably lower on the totem pole of like working on the game, so I'm sure people understand.
Yeah.
But hey, it's been a real pleasure talking to you guys. I'm glad that we got to catch up again after seeing you guys at PAX East, and we really wish you well. At least I do. I'm sure they do as well. I won't speak for them; they're here. But it's been a pleasure. We really appreciate it, and
so
we wish you guys success.
With your faces and seeing Joker, what he actually looks like for real.
Dave.
You did so good. Like I was.
That was a major transformation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Some good cosplay.
That was awesome. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, nice to see you, Kelly and Mike, and hopefully we'll see you again.
It's nice to meet you
soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, hey guys, thanks again.
Hopefully I'll get to meet you guys in person at the next.
Yes, definitely. That would be great.
All righty. Well, see you guys until next time. Later.
Have a good one.
Bye.